And welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Junior Garcia, and here are some of the top stories we have for you tonight. Housing Board approves D. Shawbert demolition contract. Hanson's candidacy still in question, and the legislature staff sharing the Christmas spirit. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8.
I Trade Earth brings you News Channel 8, a Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands-based approach to economic development and the global marketplace, one small business at a time. Call 866-396-8278 for more information or look at us on AsSeenOnChannel8.com for I Trade Earth.
In our top story, Virgin Island Housing Board members voted to exceed $4.6 million for the demolition of the former Ralph D. Shawbert housing community in Christenstead, which has been vacant since 2003. The board initially approved the site for demolition and disposition in June 2013, and a year later, Virgin Islands Housing Authority Executive Director Robert Graham said the Federal Building Fund had been awarded by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for the project. The first two resolutions was removed by the board during Wednesday's meeting, with the contract for the demolition going to the RG Engineering. According to officials, 7 bids for the projects were received, ranging from prices $4.4 million to $8 million. The scope of work includes the demolition of 45 residential units, 1 community building, a water tower, and all other structures on the site. In other news, even after being ordered off the November 4th ballot by the Virgin Islands Supreme Court twice and mounting a write-in campaign that garnered a couple thousand votes, Senator Alicia Chucky Hanson is back in the court arguing for status as a candidate and the right for a recount of her vote. In the second day of testimony before Superior Court Judge Harold Willocks, Attorney Lee Rohn and Joel Holt argued for and against, respectively, Hanson's right to have a vote recount. 1 week before the election, Hanson was ordered off the ballot by the Supreme Court because she had found guilty of willful failure to pay taxes for several years. The court deemed the crime one of moral turpitude and rendered her ineligible to run for the Virgin Islands Senate again. In August, the Supreme Court first ruled her ineligible, and a few days later, Governor John D. Young Jr. pardoned Hanson and asked the court to rehear the case, which it refused to do. Hanson had appealed earlier to the Superior Court and district courts, and at one time, U.S. District Court Judge Wilma Lewis issued a temporary restraining order directing her to be placed back on the ballot. This case will be continued at 9 a.m. December 22nd. Meanwhile, the Virgin Islands Police Department reminds store owners about selling alcohol to minors and other safety advice for the carnival season.
On the age drinking, I want to talk about that also. I want particularly the store owners and vendors to be aware that they cannot, and I want to make that abundantly clear, that they cannot sell underage individuals and individuals under the age of 18 years old any alcoholic beverage or buy tobacco material for them. So I want to make that abundantly clear out there to the community. I want to step also into wearing of seatbelts. Again, we'll be out there, the officers will be out there in mass. We'll be enforcing the laws out there, whether the traffic laws. There is obviously a seatbelt law. We need to wear the seatbelts. I want to make sure that I put that out there. Also for parents that have young kids riding in vehicles, you need to ensure that those kids are riding in the vehicles. One, they're strapped into their car seat or booster seat, like we call it, and the booster seats or infant seats are actually strapped into the vehicle properly. I ask that the public be courteous on the roads. That's another issue that we have, and stay within the speed limit operating your vehicles out here. If you plan to consume alcoholic beverages, please do not drive. Again, I want to make that clear. If you plan to consume alcoholic beverages, get a designated driver to drive you. Or if you have driven to somewhere that you have consumed alcoholic beverage, call somebody to get you. Call somebody to get you so that you don't run the risk of getting on the road and injuring somebody, getting into an accident, or getting arrested by one of my officers for driving under the influence. Also, I would strongly discourage texting and driving on the road. It's something that I see people do on the road all the time. It is wrong. We need to, although there is no law that indicates that you can't text and drive, I will tell you that it's the most dangerous thing that you can possibly do on the road, operating a vehicle. It's very distractive, and it's one of those recipes that leads to disaster in terms of getting in auto accidents.
Season greetings. My name is Sergeant Combs, Frederick State Police Substation, Burglary and Bike Unit. This message is for anyone out there who is interested in being a vendor. There are still spots available, and for those vendors that have already purchased your spot, I ask you if you're selling food and beverages for alcohol, like beers and stuff like that, do not sell any alcohol like beers in the bottle. If you have to sell beers, pour it out in a cup and dispose of the bottles. This is our season. I want everyone to come out. It's going to be safe. Come out and have a good time.
That's right. Please be safe out there. Governor John D. Young shares with us the importance of the refinery purchase for the Virgin Islands.
To the extent that ABR successfully does what we want them to do, because it is in our best interest.
Yeah.
It's in our best interest to have those 500 jobs, which pay high five figures, if not six figures, to have the additional 100 contractors that we're looking for, and that number increasing at various times throughout. And at the same time, to have the fixed payments and the variable payments. It's in our best interest to have that start. We also have the additional benefit of a restart of a major refinery. And Provenza, the refinery in St. Croix was a major refinery.
Absolutely.
To have that restart puts tremendous focus on St. Croix, that in terms of visibility and media that we can't buy, that becomes a success story. And that alone will help us to attract more companies here, help us to attract more people in a very positive manner, which only bodes well for us in terms of economic development and growth. So is it risk-free? No, it's not risk-free. But can we manage the risk? Have we attempted to manage the risk? Yes. I think it's a much better risk to do this than to do nothing and have the consequences of what would happen in that case. I want the stability and the peace of mind for the families that are able to get those 500 jobs, or who can get any job, that they can feel comfortable that they've got that job and not have to worry about the uncertainty every year or every other year. Philosophically, as an endpoint, I think the principles of ABR understood going in that, one, we did not want a terminal operation, that would be a fallback, that they couldn't come in talking about a terminal operation. And two, they understood that in a worst-case scenario or the end of a term and there was no re-upping, that we wanted that plant gone, ultimately. So that was not our push point. I think they sort of accepted that. Now, we went back and forth as to how much money they should put within the site fund, the site restoration fund. But they accepted that we wanted that plant gone, that St. Croix wanted that plant gone at some point. I think they began to be concerned is we kept looking for more on the fixed and the variable payments. And we did not want them to take losses backwards.
Stay with us. We have more news right after this break.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
And welcome back to News Channel 8. The legislature staff here on St. Croix was sharing the Christmas spirit. Let's take a look.
This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with tears in you. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes are shine the town they do. This Christmas.
Now here is Mr. Bogle with this weekend's entertainment report.
Thank you very much. Welcome to this weekend edition of your entertainment report. And it's Carnival in the air, and there's a lot of events taking place here on the Big Island of St. Croix. Starting out with, of course, Dolly House. That's Oliver Samuel. He's coming to St. Croix. That's this Friday at the Island Center. You definitely got to go and get your tickets at Urban Threads and One Love Gas Station, East and West, and also Diamond Girls and Rhythm. So please go and check it out. It's Oliver Samuel live on St. Croix. Then we're going to go on to this Sunday at Spratnet Beach Bar and Grill. It's all about the Project X Band. They'll be there playing live featuring Big Daddy. So you want to go out there and get some music and get something to eat. And then we're going to move on. We're going to tell you about, of course, you can't forget, Soca Party Monarch goes down. That's December the 27th at the Frederickson Carnival Village. You definitely want to go and check it out. Of course, the finalists have already been named, and also performing. The guest performer for this year is going to be Rupee, and they'll be backed up by Band Enhance. And then we're going to move on. We're going to tell you about, you got to check out that same night, We Got Jokes VI Comedy Tour. Of course, the Friday it's going to be on St. Thomas at the Maxi Marine Center. And on the Saturday it's going to be in St. Croix at the Island Center. And on the Sunday it moves to Tortola at the Multisports Complex. So definitely go and get your tickets, because you can't afford to miss this one. It's of course featuring Major Hype, Mike Yard, Tony Woods, Jason Anders, and Mr. Griff. So definitely go and check it out. It's a VI comedy tour. Fire for that. And then also the after party for the VI Comedy Tour takes place at the Lime, brought to you by, of course, Top Shot and Odyssey. It's New York and the Virgin Islands link up. Ayinde's birthday bash. It's a Capricorn affair. Featuring, of course, out of New York, it's Steely Bashman, Young Chow. And from the VI, you're going to have DJ Chubby, Super Truck Sound, and Captain Turn Up. We're talking about DJ Avalanche. Tickets are $25. You got to get them, of course, at Urban Threads. And you need to be there early if you want to get in. And of course, special guest who's going to be there is also Major Hype. Then we're going to move on, and we're going to tell you about on Sunday. You can check out the Sunday Night Line, brought to you by Flawless Promotion. It takes place at, of course, Sharky's. Carnival is in full effect. Featuring Pump on the Unit. You're going to have KM1, the Lyrical. You definitely want to go and check it out. DJ Trooper, Marvelous Sounds, DJ Carl, Rick Selector Koof. So this is the place to be for the Sunday Night Line. And then we're definitely going to move on. I'm going to tell you about, we're going to the Oldies night now. You're looking somewhere, place to go on Wednesday, December 31st. You're going to check out Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights, Digital Band and Express Band. All our we are one traditional Oldies party down there at Vija Morales. You'll have music by a few popular DJs. This takes place at Plot 82C. Wayne tickets are $35 more at the door. Dress code is semi-formal. From 10 p.m. till morning, get your tickets at Vija Morales, One Love Service Station, and Urban Threads. Of course, they're going to have the countdown to the new year, the party favors, champagne, hors d'oeuvres, and of course, soup will be served in the morning. And then we also move on about Singer Promotion, bringing to you the New Year's Eve dance. That's Wednesday the 31st. It's all about the Burning Flames reunion, featuring Onion and Uncle. Also, you're going to have Dennis the Menace, Daddy Jones and crew, Heart Attack Band and the Coolie Band, alongside DJ Porter and also Dogger. Take place at the Randall Dock James Racetrack. Get your early bird tickets. You pay $45 for them, or you pay more at the door. Of course, this is the place you want to be that night. Get your tickets from Urban Trades and One Love East and West, and also Diamond Girl and Rhythms. So definitely, I know it's a lot of partying going on. If you go out to party and you drink too much coquito, please get yourself a designated driver, and let's try to have a peaceful season. Back to you.
Don't touch that remote. We have more news straight ahead.
This newscast has been sponsored by Mario's Virgin Crystal. Let us save you the hassle of lugging those jugs around. Purified bottled water conveniently delivered to your home or office. Also available in your favorite grocery store. Call 773-2810.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
And finally tonight, the Pearl B. Larson School Auditorium was awash in blue as students, parents, and the school's faculty and staff assembled to mark the school's status as a national blue ribbon school.
First grade, Pearl B. Larson is. Pearl B. Larson is. Second grade, Pearl B. Larson is. Louder, Pearl B. Larson is. Everybody come to work today. Go on, playground. Pearl B. Larson is.
Don't go anywhere. We have your weather coming up next.
Your weather coming up next. Your weather.
And now here's a look at your 5-day weather forecast.
Tonight, isolated showers, partly cloudy with the low around 74. East-northeast wind around 18 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 20%. On Friday, scattered showers, mainly before noon. Mostly sunny with a high near 85. East wind around 15 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 30%. New precipitation amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch possible. On Friday night, isolated showers, mostly clear, with the low around 73. East wind 14 to 16 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 10%. On Saturday, isolated showers before noon, sunny with a high near 86. East-southeast wind 10 to 14 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 10%. And on Saturday night, isolated showers, partly cloudy with the low around 71. East winds 6 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 20%. And on Sunday, isolated showers, mostly sunny with a high near 82. South-southeast wind around 9 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 20%. And on Sunday night, isolated showers, partly cloudy with the low around 69. Calm wind and chance of precipitation is 20%. This is Cheryl Francis with your Channel 8 News Weather.
Thank you very much for tuning in. That's all we have for local news. Do not forget to like us on Facebook at WSVI-CH8. I'm Junior Garcia, and World News is up next. Good night, Virgin Islands.
I Trade Earth brings you News Channel 8, a Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands-based approach to economic development and the global marketplace, one small business at a time. Call 866-396-8278 for more information or look at us on as seen on channel8.com for I Trade Earth.